Hey, good morning, everybody. It's a beautiful Sunday morning with some exercise here. And today, for me, is a day of mourning. Not that anybody died, but that many of my friends and family and a good part of the general public mourn for you. Let's look at sweats here right now. And here's why. I study a lot, things that interest me. Neuroscience, very well studied in neuroscience, and continuing on that path. Neuroscience explains our behavior. It explains almost everything that happens in the world and why it happens, that anything related to people, okay? Our brains have certain patterns and certain functionalities that are kind of common in all of us. One of the things in our wiring is we don't like to be wrong. When we have an opinion or we have a thought and somebody challenges that thought, we don't want to listen to it. And even if that other person says, I have evidence for you, I have data for you, please look at this data, we don't want to see it. And the reason why we don't want to see it is it intrudes into our safe house. Our safe house is our life view, the things that we believe in firmly. We don't want anything to contradict that, so we don't listen to any other opinion. We don't seek any other opinion. We don't seek any other data. We just stick with what we have and we defend it to the death. That's human nature. And that's called cognitive dissonance, when you don't want to hear anything from somebody that contradicts your opinion. And today is what I'm mourning, because we have so much data now since COVID started. We have a ton of data related to the shot. All you people, you decided to get a shot in your arm that was a technology never used in people before, that absolutely failed in all the animal trials. And you can research this and find the information. It'll be a lot harder to find now because they take stuff down, but I found it. I listened to the guy who invented the technology, who has 8 patents on the technology. I listened to the greatest scientists and virologists in the world, some of them Nobel Prize winners. I was following the science. And by the way, science is really not to be followed, and it's not to be trusted, it's to be challenged. That is the fundamental basis of science. Experiment, data collection, and debate. Did you hear anybody on TV debate the efficacy of the vaccine? Did you hear one person on TV? No. You know why? Because they were all silenced. And they had to set up their own information networks, which I found, and I got to listen to the true experts. So I know you people listening right now who you're pro-shot. This is who I'm mourning you. I'm mourning you because you're going to stick to your guns. You're going to get your boosters. They're talking now, maybe you need a monthly COVID shot. And you know how preposterous that is? Here's why it's preposterous. At the beginning, when they rolled it out, they told you you wouldn't get it. You'll get the shot and you won't get it, and you won't transmit it. You forgot that. I still have the video recordings. Biden, Fauci, Trump, the CDC lady who I don't even know her name, and I don't want to know her name. All the people came on TV and they told you, get the shot and you won't get COVID. They said it over and over again, and they call it a vaccine, which was deception, because this is a gene therapy by definition, not a vaccine. And we all look at a vaccine and go, oh yeah, vaccines are good. Well, some of them are. We eradicated polio with the polio vaccine. And guess what? That vaccine took over 10 years to come to market. It was rejected twice by the FDA because not enough data, okay? You could research this yourself, Jonas Salk. But you're willing to put a experimental technology in your arm with only 2 months of testing, right? And then you're going to yell at the people who are apprehensive to do that, and you're going to yell at people who actually get COVID and they start treating themselves with the #1 antiviral drug ever made, called hydroxychloroquine, and the #1 anti-parasitic drug ever made, ivermectin, prescribed billions of times. You're gonna demonize those things. And our system's going to demonize those things. And they did. You can still go on the FDA website and see what they say about hydroxychloroquine and ivermectin. I mean, can you imagine a drug that's been on the market for 60 years, prescribed billions of times, and the other one, ivermectin, came out in 1975. Satoshi Omura, the inventor, won the Nobel Prize for ivermectin on how effective it was on river blindness in people. And they have the audacity to say these things can kill you. There wasn't enough data. You can't have more data than decades of use and billions of uses, okay? So, again, I mourn you. I sat with a family member who told me he couldn't do certain things because of me, because I didn't get the shot. And when I asked him what ivermectin was, he said it was horse-based. So, I mourn you people. We have a new thing coming out called sudden adult death syndrome. That's what they're calling it. People are just dropping dead. And we never had this condition before prior to 2021. Little correlation there, I think. Maybe not. The European Soccer League, which made it mandatory for everybody to get a shot, the last time I checked, which was about 3 months ago, they had 180 deaths on the field. People dropping dead. Normally they have one death on the field every couple years. Correlation? What changed? What changed from prior to 2021 to 2021? And it's happening across the board. I got another friend. He's a dear friend who has a dear friend, and he was telling me a story about his dear friend whose 19-year-old son, while running a half marathon, had very bad chest pain and had to stop running. And they took him to the hospital. They couldn't detect what the problem was. So I told my friend to tell his friend he needs to get a D-dimer test. Letter D, dimer. D-dimer test, because that can detect microclotting in the blood. Sure enough, you get microclotting in a condition called myocarditis, which he's done forever running. I think the average lifespan is 5 years after diagnosis of myocarditis. How does a 19-year-old in marathon shape get myocarditis? Well, he did something that millions of people did that might have changed things. So, again, I mourn you people, because you're going to look at all this stuff happening around you, and you're going to defend your position because you're part of a tribe. And your tribe believes in what they believe. You will not become an independent thinker. You will continue to hold firm with the tribe, and you'll die in that hill. And anybody who's part of a tribe like that, I don't care which side you're on, you know, if you're not an independent thinker, then you're a rube. I don't care how intelligent you are. Your emotions, you lead with your emotions, and your emotions supersede your intelligence. I'm not like that, and I don't surround myself with people like that. So, I learned, especially through this whole thing, because I am data sensitive, and I have researched and researched and researched, and this is what I'm mourning today. People don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear the truth. They want to uphold their own truth. There's one guy who completely flipped, and that's my buddy Tony from high school. And you know who you are. I'm very proud of you. And he could finally see the scheme of, creating a profitable shot and making everybody get it without proper testing. So, I know a lot of you are going, oh, he's full of it. Yeah, well, I have a 39-page Pfizer study. A study on 40,000 people, their own data. You want to talk about that? You know, what you people don't understand is they don't supply that data to the FDA. They just say, the summary of our data is, it works, it's safe, and it's effective. That's what they do. They don't tell you, like, adverse effects, how many people got them, what percentage, the risk ratio. They don't tell you any of that. And then the FDA, because they're predominantly funded by Big Pharma, and a lot of their high-ranking officials are bought and paid for by Big Pharma. I'm sorry, folks, that's the way the world works. They pass these things with no regard for human life. You were the test. You were the test. And, you know, unfortunately, people are not doing very well right now. So I'm going to combine the fact that I'm mourning for you and your lack of wanting to open your eyes and see the clarity of things. I'm mourning you because you're likely going to do damage to yourself if you keep getting these shots, and maybe you already have. Maybe you've already lost loved ones. And while I'm mourning for you, I'm also going to pray for you. I'm going to pray that you stay healthy and you live the normal life that you're supposed to live, and it's not cut short because you put an unknown chemical in your body. Some of you over and over again, and some of you will continue to do it over and over again. You know, you're going to say correlation does not mean causation. Well, the insurance, what do they call these guys? The insurance actuaries just came out with a statistic that said death from all causes is up 40% over last year. Many of you don't know what that means, but like if we have a world war, death from all causes goes up like 10%. And COVID isn't, the deaths aren't from COVID, they're from everything else. They extrapolated out COVID. So death from all causes up 40%. Soccer players dying, athletes dying on the field. It's happening all over the place. What do you think? That is just coincidence? God, I hope you people wake up, but you won't. And that's what I'm warning today. I love you all. If any of you do open your eyes, like my friend Tony, and you want to get on the warrior information list, you reach out to me. And I'll connect you with the information streams where you can find the truth and follow the true experts. I love you all. Have a great day.